Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey. 76,000 gathered for week 2 of the 1990 NFL season. The Rams and the Giants. It is a gorgeous September afternoon. John Robinson and the Los Angeles Rams come in 0-1. They had a miserable start to the 1990-91 season last week. I'm Vern Lundquist, along with John Madden. And John, Jim Everett and company, 7 turnovers last week against Phoenix.
Yeah, and anytime you have that, Vern, you're not going to beat anyone, and that's what the Rams have had to struggle with that all week. And they're starting Bobby Del Pino at tailback in place of Cleveland Gary today, but I still think the game for the Rams is going to be on this guy right here, Jim Everett. If the Rams have a chance to beat the Giants' defense, it has to be through the air with him.
And for the Giants Monday night, Ray Handley successful in his debut as a head coach, and Jeff Hostetler is still unbeaten as a starting quarterback.
That's amazing. He's 8-0 as a starting quarterback, and just to show that maybe Ray Handley did make the right choice. We talked to the Rams about what you have to do to stop the Giants. They say you have to stop Hostetler and Dave Meggett. That's the biggest part of their offense.
Giants won the toss. They will receive. Tony Zendejas will kick off for Los Angeles. That's taken by Dave Meggett. And good downfield coverage by the Los Angeles Rams. They stuff Meggett inside the 15. Hostetler opens at quarterback. The choice over Phil Simms in 91. And he was most effective. He is a threat, of course, running the ball as well as throwing. Up front, Elliott and Roberts' second game. They held out much of preseason. Oates, Moore, Riesenberg. The tight end is Howard Cross. In the backfield, Otis Anderson and Carthen. The wide receivers, Ingram, who had 6 catches Monday night, and Stephen Baker, who had 3. First and 10, New York from the 15-yard line. And they opened with 2 tight ends, Zeke Moat, lined up tight to the left-hand side. Hand off to Otis Anderson. Nothing there. Alvin Wright, number 99, is a part of the tackle. He is joined up front for the Rams by Wilson, Mike Peel, and Kevin Green. And the linebackers, Fred Strickland, Larry Kelm, and Brett Farinese. And in the secondary, it's Jerry Gray on the left corner, Henley. The safeties are Pat Terrell in his second year, and Michael Stewart, number 23. Second down and 9. There's Kevin Green. No sacks last week, but 13 in 1990. And he is being asked to play a down position now in Jeff Fisher's new defense, though he does maintain a 2-point stance. Sweep to the left. Anderson out to the 20-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and 5 after a full-yard gain.
You know, and you look at Kevin Green, number 91 there, and you say he's a defensive end. He really has to fight to weigh 250 pounds, and that's not very big. And he says he knows when you put him as a defensive end, teams are going to try and run at him. He said, but they're not going to be able to do it. And you can see that first running play was right at Kevin Green, and he handled it.
And because he handled it, it brings up a 3rd and 5 for the Giants. New York was 10 of 18 in 3rd down conversions Monday night. That's outstanding. Out of the shotgun, Hostetler set. And they don't this time, as it's high for Stephen Baker and incomplete. And the Giants will have to punt. And here is one of the changes now for the Rams. Vernon Turner, who had been acquired, as you look at Sean Landeta, tried to return punts last week, and he fumbled too. So Darrell Henley has taken his spot.
You know, it's tough to be a punt returner, but when you first come to the team, the first week, you get there a couple days, and they say, okay, you're a punt returner, and then you fumble 2 of them, you may never get back there.
That's a poor punt by Landeta. And he doesn't get much of a bounce out of it, so Los Angeles with good field position at their own 41-yard line. Jim Everett comes on. He had a decent game last week, though he threw 2 interceptions. He was at 70% for the game. And Everett opening at quarterback for the Rams. He is joined by what might best be called an unsettled offensive line. A lot of guys changing possessions. Robert Jenkins, who changed his name from Robert Cox. Rostec Tom Newberry has moved into center. Malinicek at right guard. Jackie Slater in his 16th year at right tackle. In the backfield is McGee, Del Pino. The wide receivers are Ellard and Anderson. First down and 10, Los Angeles from the 41. Hand off to Robert Del Pino. Looks for something on the right tackle spot. And he gets to the 45 before the stop is made by Mike Fox. Giant defense with Fox, Eric Howard, and Leonard Marshall up front. Dorsey is on injured reserve. Perhaps the best quartet of linebackers in the NFL, and Banks, Reason, Johnson, and Taylor. And in the secondary, Mark Collins and Everson Walls at the corners, with Myron Guyton and Greg Jackson at the safeties. Second down and 6, no score. Just underway. Lawrence Taylor lines up on the right side. Now he comes outside to take a different angle, but he's in pass coverage. A handoff to Del Pino, who stutter steps and might have picked up the first down across the 50-yard line, a gain of 7.
Yeah, one thing about Del Pino, he can do everything. He's a good runner, he's a good blocker, and he's a heck of a pass receiver. In fact, when he wasn't the starting tailback, he was used as a fullback, and when they would put him in fullback, they would split him out as a wide receiver a lot. And I remember a game right here in the Meadowlands where this guy, darn near by himself, killed the Giants.
And was so inactive last year with only 13 carries. He was lost in the shuffle of Gaston Green, Marcus Dupree, and Cleveland Gary, along with Buford McGee. Here's 1st and 10, and Everett back. There'll be a holding call that'll wipe this out. And Everett is down at the 41-yard line. Gain of 5 if it stands. To bring it back is Johnny Greer. The referee said, Well, John, among the other problems Los Angeles had last Sunday, they were penalized 9 times.
Yeah, I mean, if the 7 turnovers weren't enough, you combine that with the penalties, and you can't beat a high school team with that.
Illegal hands to face mask. 61 offense. Still first down.
That's the left guard right there, Bernd Brosnick. You see him, it's on Leonard Marshall. Marshall takes an inside move. Now, when a guard doesn't get his feet in there, when a guy takes an inside move and you don't jam that right foot in there and you just reach, you're going to get the penalty. It's either going to be a holding penalty or a face mask, and the reason he got that penalty is because he didn't move his feet.
Rams go with 3 wide receivers. Aaron Cox is in on 1st down and 20, and they hand it off. Del Pino up the middle, and Carl Banks makes the tackle, but not before Bob Del Pino had a fine gain of 7 yards.
You know, the Rams feel that they want to run right at the Giant defense. John Robinson said the way you do is you run at it and then you skid. You don't try and get outside. You just run into the hole, find something, then you skid right or left. That time, Del Pino found a pretty good hole, and he didn't have to skid anywhere.
Officially 2nd down and 14. Aaron Cox stays in the offensive set. He lines up to the left side. Henry Ellard. And they run it again. Mike Fox misses the tackle, number 93. And Del Pino gets down to the 46 for a gain of 5.
That's the thing. Let's watch the blocking up here on Lawrence Taylor, 56 and type. See, they're going to run right at him and kick him out. Now, he does a pretty good job here. Remember Monday night how much he was being held? It looks like he's being held right there again. But he gets down, takes a knee, makes that thing cut back to the inside.
On 3rd and 9, the Rams go with 4 wide receivers. No score. Opening drive for Los Angeles. Taylor's coming. And he gets Jim Everett. He blew right by Robert Jenkins.
I'll tell you what they do is they do that with a stunt. You're going to see Marshall comes to the inside, Taylor comes to the outside, and the Rams don't pick it up. Watch Marshall 70. See when he comes to the inside, he comes free right up the gut, and there's nothing that Jim Everett can do to get away from that one.
That brings on Dale Hatcher, who had a poor game last week. 31.5 average. This is a fine punt, though. Make it at the 17. Fumble! How ironic that 2 fumbles on punt returns cost the Rams dearly a week ago. This time, however, Meggett does recover his own bobble.
Lilly here, he's the outside guy, the guy that can go when the ball snapped, the guy they double team. Look at him, they knock him out of bounds, into the sidelines, through it goes. He can't get back in, he can't find the field. Hey! He finally got back. Too late.
Looked like he was trying to sneak into the stadium.
I know, well, he had to go to that whole bunch of guys there.
Had a suit but no ticket. Hand off for the Giants to the 21-yard line. Otis Anderson with the carry. Phoenix and Philadelphia still scoreless. Steve Christie has kicked the 31-yard field goal for the Buccaneers. And Green Bay and Detroit just getting started.
Leonard Marshall's proud of that thing. You know that I guess Taylor gets a sack, but that was that stunt, and Marshall came free on it, and he was the guy who flushed Everett out.
Time has been called now for an injury.
You know, it's pretty hot down on this field today, too. I mean, it's a nice day for a picnic or something, but if you're a big old heavy lineman, I'll guarantee you today's not a nice day.
Well, it reached 90 degrees in New York City yesterday, expected to be about that today. And there is also an absence of the normal wind one finds at Giant Stadium today. Second down, Fred Strickland was the injured player, by the way, for the Rams. And here's Odessa Turner, who cannot hang on. There is also a flag down. So a lot happening on that play.
You know, one thing the Giants feel about Jeff Hostetler is he's seeing his guys when they're open. That time, he found Odessa Turner. He found the right guy open. I'm doing the defender was Sammy Lilly. The guy was just knocked out of bounds a minute ago.
Still trying to find his spot.
Offside. Defense. Still second down.
That's pretty generic.
Yeah, someone just jumped and they just gave it against the whole defense, but that was a free play for Hostetler, and if you're going to get a free play, that's the place to go, to the deep guy.
Fred Strickland out. Roman Pfeiffer, the number 2 draft choice, is in for the Rams. Otis Anderson moved the chains for the Giants out to the 30-yard line. A 1st and 10 following that 4-yard pickup.
Yeah, there's an amazing guy, O.J. Anderson. I mean, you know, I was talking to him yesterday and say, how you doing? He said, oh, it's just about the same. Just kind of keep on going. You know, and that's his attitude. 13 years in the league as a running back, and the guy doesn't seem to wear down or slow down.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. You know, I mean, if you knew it, you would probably bottle it. I mean, why can Jimmy Connors play like he does? Or why can O.J. Anderson? Why can Jackie Slater play tackle 16 years in the league?
We could use some of that. Hostetler back under pressure. That is a fumble, not a forward pass. And the Rams have recovered. Johnny Greer ruled that a fumble, not a forward pass.
I'll tell you, Roman Pfeiffer, number 58, the rookie you were just talking about from UCLA. Watch 58. He comes here and really puts a harness on Jeff Hostetler. You see him come into the picture. See Hostetler, see 58 right there? He just hits him by the shoulder, then wraps him around the neck, and that ball comes flying out of there. Now, if the arm is going forward, it's a fumble. If the arm is not, I mean, it's an incomplete pass. If the arm is not going forward, it's a fumble. That was not going forward. That ball came out of there before the arm went forward.
Well, the irony continues. The Rams, who gave it up 7 times last Sunday against Phoenix, give it up or get it. And New York is a team that does not turn it over much. Led the league last year with a record. Everett with a pass behind Del Pino. It'll be 2nd and 10. 2 fumbles now for New York, one of which they recovered. Meggett's on the punt. But then they bobbled the second one.
Like you say, that's just a reversal of last week. And you know, one thing that usually happens in this league, whatever a team does one week, they're not going to do it the next week. I mean, because you talk about practice, about concentration, whatever that thing is, it just doesn't keep happening.
2nd down and 10. No score midway through the first quarter. Del Pino inside the 25 to the 23. Gary Reasons, number 55, made the tackle, gain of 4.
whenever Taylor plays, you see, here's Lawrence Taylor right here, 56. The Rams' game plan is to run at him. And, of course, when you get a double team like that, they're playing with 2 tight ends, and both of them block him. They knock Taylor back about 7 or 8 yards.
Los Angeles will use a quartet of wide receivers on 3rd and 6 now. 6:45 to go in the thus far scoreless first quarter. Blitz coming. Flag is down. So is Everett. Lawrence Taylor, second sack of the ball game.
They let Lawrence Taylor play against the air that time. You can't do that. They had 2 tight ends on him. They blocked him. Then they felt confident, so they didn't put any tight end. Look at him. He's just going to run right around Robert Jenkins there. That's the old Lawrence Taylor speed, hitting the guy from behind. He had a quote once. He said his greatest thrill in pass rushing is hitting the quarterback from behind.
74 defense. Lining up in the neutral zone. Still 3rd down.
Eric Howard.
That's a tough one. That's a nose tackle.
That wipes out a sack. Go ahead, John. You were talking about Lawrence?
I probably shouldn't finish it now that I think about it. But anyway, he said his greatest thrill is to hit a quarterback from behind when the quarterback doesn't see him coming and watch him blow snot bubbles. That was a quote from Lawrence Taylor.
You're going to hurry and get that in quotation marks.
Well, we shouldn't have. But he said that.
Fumble. Who got it? Giants got it. And the ball has been whistled dead. Now, this is interesting. Tom Newberry has been moved to center this year, replacing Doug Smith. He and Jim Everett are roommates. Last week, they talked about the possibility of a problem on a center exchange. They had one. They just had their second. That fumble, John.
You know, watch the left guard here, Bernd Brostek. Looks like he may knock the ball out of here. See, it looks like it's in his hand. Maybe it's starting to go. It looks like Brostek's right hand comes across it. Then it gets in guys' feet. But it does look like the ball was up there.
Giants get it back, 1st and 10, no score. Meggett in motion. In the lineup on 1st down. Anderson tripped up from behind. Glenn Sanders with the tackle. Everson Walls, another interception last week, 51 for his career now, ties him with Ronnie Lott.
That's Al Groh, the defensive coordinator there, who really has a tough job with Bill Parcells leaving, who was a defensive guy, and Bill Belichick leaving, who was a defensive coordinator. All that defensive stuff goes to Al Groh, but he has a lot of veterans.
2nd down and 9. Maurice Carthen, big gain up the middle. Michael Stewart, Larry Kelm with the tackle.
Watch it here. Carthon is a great change of pace. You're always thinking, watch the tailback. They never hand to the fullback. They give him a little thing here, reverse pivot, just run the defender right beyond the ball, and you cut back against the grain. That's a perfect picture of a cutback.
See, he wasn't that active as a running back last season with 143 yards, and he had only 4 yards on 2 carries Monday night, 10 on that last game.
Because you always say, well, they'll never give it to Carthon.
Right. Double tight end set again for the Giants. Mullen in motion. Anderson hit from behind by Alvin Wright. And another flag down. This one thrown on the far side of the field. Alvin Wright getting up a little woozy.
Alvin Wright, of course, when the Rams played that 3-man line, he was a nose tackle all those years. One of the better nose tackles in the league. Now that they went to the 4-man line, they bring in Jeff Fisher from Philadelphia.
87 offense. It's declined. 2nd down.
Anyway, so Alvin Wright, instead of being a nose tackle, is now a defensive tackle.
Looked like he might have been favoring his right shoulder as he comes off. That is it. 2nd down and 10. No score, 4:30 to go. First quarter, it has been a game of turnovers thus far. Hostetler, Anderson, That looked awful from the outset.
This whole first quarter has looked awful from the outset. I don't think we've completed a forward pass yet in this game. We've had penalties and we've had turnovers. So that's the type of
that is the play before this one when Alvin Wright, number 99, was injured, and he is still getting help on the Ram bench. And after the loss, 3rd down and 14. And again, the 4 wide receivers, and the Giants had real problems in this formation with pass protection last week. Make it intercepted. Picked off and returned. Here is Darrell Henley looking for blocking help and comes to his left. Around the corner and out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
This is just the first quarter. You don't think probably the Giants watched that film of the Rams last week too much and they caught it. Whatever it was, they caught it right through the tape.
That's a return of 22, the first interception of the season for Darrell Henley. And the second Giant turnover. Ray Henley may change shirts before halftime.
You talk about not only the turnovers, but the penalties, too.
Up the middle, Del Pino to the 23. Tackle is made by Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, that was one thing that, the Rams were talking about in John Robinson last night, that people try and run off tackle and outside against the Giants, and they pursue so well that you can't do it. And he's figured the way you got to run at him because you just can't let him tee off. And the way to run is to run straight at him on straight lines, not going parallel and cutting.
Taylor again to the right side this time, defensive right, 2nd down and 3. No score. Up the middle to Del Pino. He is cut down by Carl Banks. Jim Everett and Jeff Hostetler, the respective quarterbacks, and thus far, look at that.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. It's just been a running game. You knew that both of them wanted to establish a run. We're in the first quarter. We have yet to have a completed forward pass, so it's been a running game, penalties, and turnovers.
3rd and 1, 2:05 to go, first quarter. No score. Rams hand it off to Del Pino. He's got a first down inside the 20. Robert Del Pino, a 5th-round draft choice, is starting because Cleveland Gary had fumble problems. But, John, he really has played very well in the 2 games here.
Yeah, and he says he doesn't know why. He said he doesn't come in here and get excited and say, well, I'm playing in New York, or I'm playing in the Meadowlands, or I'm playing in Giants. He said it just happened. But I think John Robinson knows that, too. And if you're going to make a change, this is a good time to make it when a guy's going into a place where he does play well.
1st and 10, 1:25 to go, first quarter. Here comes Taylor. Everett. Blocked. Flag is down. A lot of stuff happening on this play as well.
I think Taylor may have talked himself into getting a holding penalty. They complained about it. They talked about it during the week. Everyone says they're holding LT. Robert Jenkins, number 72, held him that time, and I think they caught him. That's what Taylor's saying. All I'm asking, if the guy holds me, then call it. And that's like a sack. You know what I mean?
72 offense. Still first down.
72 again is Robert Jenkins, who used to be Robert Cox, who is blocking Lawrence Taylor. And anytime he doesn't have a tight end over there, he's been having trouble with Taylor. I think if the Rams are going to control that side, they better keep someone over there. See, it's this side right here. Here's Taylor. Now watch him come from that outside. You see, he gets that speed rush right up the field. There's no one else to stop him, and he can come in and around.
2nd down. Jim Everett will use a timeout. 1:18 to go, first half of play. Lawrence Taylor with his 2nd sack. Scoreless thus far. Turnovers, penalties, and a few sacks tossed into the mix. 1:18 to go first quarter. Vern Lundquist along with John Madden. And those shots from overhead, piloting the MetLife blimp for today's coverage, are captains Bart Van Beest and Glenn Hollander. And on the sidelines, the man who is now the backup quarterback, Phil Simms, wearing the baseball cap. Means he's not going to play shortly. And speaking of baseball caps, Jim Courier will have his on when he meets Stefan Edberg for the men's championship of the U.S. Open tennis title this afternoon. First and 20 now. Everett Del Pino to the 26-yard line.
Yeah, one thing, when you get to be a running back and you have a lot of experience, what you do is you not only run the ball, but you always keep a ball. And then when you have a thought on your mind, you tell the other guys. So you're a half a player, a half a coach, and if you keep playing for 15 years, pretty soon you may be half an owner, the way they're paying these guys.
Second and 17. 44 seconds to go, first quarter. Everett, good protection. Down the middle to Jim Price, the number 3 tight end, the rookie from Stanford.
Jim Everett was saying that he's looking for someone. Remember Pete Holohan? He was the guy that always did this type of thing. Jim Everett says he really misses Holohan. He said, but this guy may be the guy. He's the 3rd tight end, Jim Price. And he said, when we get down inside the 20, he said, he's the guy that I'm going to be looking for. In the area, the Giants are probably the best defensive football in this area.
That's the end of the first quarter. Rams are threatening with a 3rd and 3. Our score, zip, zip. It's scoreless thus far. Jackie Slater dinged a couple of plays ago, getting some medical attention from Dr. Clarence Shields, the man in the center of the picture who is also the surgeon who operated on Randall Cunningham. Newberry, prospect. Gerald Perry has gone in at left tackle now, acquired in a trade from Denver, and Robert Jenkins goes to right tackle for the Rams. 3rd and 3, no score. Price in motion. Everett chased, pulls up into the end zone, caught, touchdown. No! Henry Ellard was across the end line.
I'll tell you, they were really going after Jim Everett on that one, though. Lawrence Taylor was there, and Leonard Marshall was there, and Marshall and Taylor run into each other. Look at me. You talk about exciting. That's what Marshall said. He said, we're going to go after Everett. We're going to knock him down. Watch him knock each other down. Boom. Taylor gets up and puts a heck of a heck on Marshall as Everett throws the ball out of the stadium.
Tony Zendejas. Here's the throw, and you can see that Ellard was clearly across the end line. Here is Zendejas, acquired in Plan B from the Houston Oilers. He spent most of last season on injured reserve with a broken leg, and he has just kicked his first field goal for the Los Angeles 30-yard field goal. And Zendejas now getting set to kick off. One of the Flying Zendejas brothers. There are a few of them who've kicked in the league.
I know it, and that last field goal, or his first field goal that he just got, was very, very close. I don't know about that one.
Ingram and Meggett are deep for New York. Well, that one is certainly outside the field of play. Let's go back and look at Zendejas' field goal.
Now, the rule is it has to be inside the outside edge of the pole. Now, watch this one. You can't get any closer than this. You can get it right up there. Now, that has to be inside. It's going to go over, but inside the outside edge. And if that is inside the outside edge, that's as close as you can get to being inside the outside edge of the pole.
That's a heck of a razor to cut it that close. Thompson. First and 10, Giants. They trail by 3. Opening moments of the second quarter. Lewis Tillman comes in and bounces off a tackle. Finally, Pat Carroll corrals him at the 37-38-yard line, a gain of 3. Tillman has replaced Otis Anderson.
And that's who you're going to see replace Otis Anderson, at least today. Rodney Hampton, remember their #1 draft choice a year ago, really hasn't gotten healthy this year. In fact, they were saying that he was getting better and may play this weekend, and then he's inactive. So Rodney Hampton is not even active for this game, so their real running backs have to be Anderson and Tillman. And, of course, Rodney Hampton in that shirt cannot play in the NFL.
Tillman comes left on the sweep, breaks the tackle, breaks another. First down at the Ram 46. Gain of 16.
And, you know, besides Tillman, the next happiest guy could be O.J. Anderson, because he's kind of been a tutor for Tillman. And Tillman, you know, his first couple of years would just follow O.J. around, and whatever he would say. We saw a shot just a little while ago, O.J. talking to Tillman, and I think that's the kind of team player that both of them are.
Tillman with only 10 yards Monday night. Had 16 on that carry. First down at the 45-yard line. Tillman again comes left, and a flag is down. Jumbo Elliott did a heck of a job on Kevin Green to open that hole, but let's see what the infraction is.
Jumbo Elliott is a heck of a tackle, and if he gets a hold of you, it's going to be against the Giants. But if Jumbo Elliott gets you, you're going to go down.
Holding, 65 offense. Still first down.
There's 65 as the center, Bart Oates. But let's just watch Jumbo Elliott here. He's making the block on the outside. You see the inside where they called Oates on. Jumbo was the guy who made the play go. Oates was the guy who they called for holding, but it looked like the defender was just going down, and he pushed him.
Odessa Turner has come into the lineup. So also has Otis Anderson and Dave Meggett on 1st and 20. This is Zeke Moat, the backup tight end. Hostetler back, 4-man rush, a lot of time. Odessa Turner with the catch, and he gets a bunch of it back. He's down at the 40-yard line of the Rams. Right now, for an update on what's going on in the NFL, let's go back to Greg Gumbel in New York City.
Vern, at the Silverdome, the Lions have scored their first points of the season. Barry Sanders always has a good day against the Packers. No change here, 4 yards. And with the extra point in the second quarter, Detroit leads Green Bay 7-0. Vern?
All right, Greg, 3-0 here, 12:23 to go, and the Giants have just completed their first pass of the ball game. Jackie Slater, by the way, is getting x-rays on his right shoulder in the Ram locker room. 2nd and 4. Tillman with Carthen leading the way. First down after Carl Wilson makes the tackle. Gain of 5.
You know, there's an underrated guy, Carthon. You see Tillman, he pointed to Carthon on that as he walked back there and said, you know, thank you, because he's the guy that led and made that block on the linebacker that let Tillman get through the hole. And Carthon does a lot of those things that aren't always seen and aren't always recognized, but if you don't do them, you don't win.
He's been at it for a long time, and the Giants have drafted their #1 choice at 91, Jared Bunch, to back him up. There's motion for Doug Riesenberg, number 72, and that'll cost the Giants 5.
There's nothing that upsets an offensive lineman more than doing that.
72 offense. First down.
Because Doug Riesenberg is a real steady guy. You know, the type of guy doesn't make mistakes, is always trying to play the perfect game, maybe an overachiever, but little things like that would just drive him crazy. Can you just keep adding the guy until you stop their run?
4 wide receivers now on 3rd and 9 for the Giants. They come with 4. Shovel pass, Meggett, and a fine defensive job turned in by Anthony Newman, who was shadowing Dave Meggett all afternoon, and it paid big dividends then.
I know it, you know, and this is what they call a scat pattern. Now watch Meggett. He can go anywhere he wants to just to get open. But look at the traffic he has to get through to get through the line, and then right there Newman is waiting for him. Anytime they get in that shotgun formation, Anthony Newman is going to play man-to-man on David Meggett.
Boy, he saw it played perfectly then. Here is Matt Barr from 46 yards out to try and tie it up. At the age age of 35, Matt Barr is becoming a cult hero in New York City. Current starter Jeff Hostetler, and they are joined by the veteran Matt Cavanaugh. There's a little experience in that trio.
Well, there is, and the experience that Sims says he doesn't have is he doesn't know what to do during a game. He said he didn't know whether to watch Hostetler, the offense, the defense, or what. He said it drove him crazy.
Kickoff by Matt Barr. David Lang and Vernon Turner back to return it. This is Vernon Turner, and he's got some room. Acquired on waivers from Buffalo. During the last cut.
He's one of those guys that can run, and when he gets the ball, he's always dangerous. You know, we talked about him last week against Phoenix in his first game. He had 2 fumbles on punt return, so they took him off the punt return, but they're leaving him as a kickoff returner. You can see it. He can catch it. He can run with it.
Rams are trying to overcome the memories of a 5-11 season in 1990, during which time they got off to a 1-4 start, and they have a tough road, literally, for the rest of the month. There's a handoff up the middle to the 39. They opened at home last week against Phoenix, and they thought that would be a walk in the park, quite candidly. Phoenix, however, look at this, leading Philadelphia, proving that win was no fluke.
Well, you know, Phoenix hasn't lost this year. You go back, Phoenix was 4-0 in preseason, beat the Rams last week, and now they're beating the Eagles.
The only thing Phoenix has lost is their quarterback, Tim Rosenbaugh, but Tom Tupa has thrown a touchdown pass today. But for the Rams, it doesn't get any easier. They're on the road at New Orleans next week, and then at San Francisco.
Break up those Cardinals.
Everett caught. That's short of the first down, but down at the 44-yard line. That was made by Gary Reasons. There is Mark Collins, the cornerback.
Mark Collins had a great game Monday night against the 49ers. Jerry Rice only caught one pass, and that was when Collins wasn't covering him. But the reason, you know, you don't see the defensive guy when they don't throw to him like there. Flipper Anderson is one of the speed guys, one of the guys Everett would like to get to. But if they don't throw to him, you never show the defensive back when he does well. And Mark Collins has been doing well for a couple of years now.
Mark Collins says he starts looking into his eyes the minute he breaks the huddle. They go at him, and this time the eyes didn't have it.
I'll tell you why, because he got him turned. You know, Flipper Anderson can run that deep one. Mark Collins knows that. He's looking to the inside. Now watch what Flipper does here. He's going to get him turned. You see, he stops there, and just before he made that out cut, he made like he was going up. Collins took a step up, and then boom, Flipper Anderson made the out cut.
Willie Anderson, who averages better than 24 yards per catch for the Rams over the course of his career, got 15 on that one.
Remember the big one he caught here at the Meadowlands at Giant Stadium? He
He's
just
still
went
running
right through the tunnel.
Del Pino jammed up. Greg Jackson. That's a gain of 1. Jackson with help from Leonard Marshall.
You know, Jackson's doing the same thing. Is when you see a safety up there making a tackle on the line of scrimmage like Greg Jackson was, that means they're adding the 8th guy to stop the run. We saw an example where the Rams did it on the last series. The Giants just did it on this first down series. They had 8 guys up in front.
Anderson will go to the left, and Del Pino breaks out of the backfield. He comes lined up wide to the right, where Mark Collins is on him now. That's Johnson. 4-man rush. Everett down the middle. Triple coverage. It's tipped by Gary Reasons and dropped. Gary Reasons, who had 2. It's Carl Banks, I beg your pardon, not Reasons. It was Carl Banks who had a hand on it.
Carl Banks plays linebacker like a basketball player. I mean, he just is, you know, is so smooth and so athletic, and can make plays like this, jumping and diving and stuff like that, that he just reminds me of a basketball player. Look at Jackson, thought he was going to get it. He was already in position to catch it. He had both hands working together. Then they always, when they don't get, they always look at their hands, like their hands let them down.
3rd and 9. Track play. Del Pino. Down to at the 2-yard line, 1st and goal. What a call.
Is the way you should run the ball. Yeah, if you're going to run, you run it straight. Now watch Delpino here. The Giants, 3rd down, they're going to pass rush. So the rushers come, Delpino goes right by him, and then he goes one way, straight at the goal line. He's not making moves. He's not trying to get out of bounds. He's trying to get to that goal line. Watch what they do here. Watch the pass rush, and we'll see him get beyond. They'll get beyond the ball carrier. See if we can stop it there. You see all the pass rushers were beyond him. Then they handed the ball to Delpino.
1st and goal from the 3 after the 37-yard run. Delpino, a flag is down, and so is Delpino at the 2-yard line. Robert Delpino had 81 yards last Sunday in the loss to Phoenix, offside against the Giants. He has picked up 79 in the 1st half. Well, he told us last night, I don't know why, I always play well here.
Offside, 73, defense. Still 1st down.
That's John Washington.
And he says he's really excited about playing this game today. And he's playing like he's really excited. But, you know, the Rams are down there, but this isn't automatic yet. I mean, if there's anyone in football, in fact, John Robinson was talking about it last night, the 2 toughest defenses down in the goal line are the 49ers and the Giants.
They toss it to Delpino. He is down at the 1-foot line. Lawrence Taylor up on top to make the tackle.
Usually they've been running straight at him. Now they got all that power in the middle, so they try and flip it and get to the outside. Carl Banks just destroys Damone Johnson trying to block him, but he doesn't make the tackle.
Also in the backfield for John Robinson's Rams is a 14-year veteran, Mosey Tatupu, who was called the best blocking back he ever coached by John Robinson at Southern California. Here's Delpino. Which way did the pile move? It didn't move anywhere. It'll be 3rd down.
Hey, did you see that? The Giants have the jumpers behind. You see, you got those linebackers. Now, Tutupa's going to come and jump. You see the Giants jumpers? The jumpers hit the jumper and knock the jumper backwards. So when the blocker is a jumper and he doesn't get the block, then there's no pile going this way. See the 2 jumpers? Then the jumpers didn't go backwards. That was a jump off, and the Rams lost the jump off.
3rd and goal. Play fake, Everett. Damone Johnson tipped and knocked away. 4th down.
This crowd understands football. They know and they love their defense. Watch this here. The fake, watch the jumpers. Everyone goes for the fake. The thing is, it was still good coverage. Now, the Rams are taking a timeout, Vern. I think they're going to go for it. They didn't send their kicker in there. Everett, I think they just told him to go for it, but they didn't give him a play. Jim Everett, I think, wanted a play, so he took a timeout.
Let's salute the effort of Myron Guyton on the defensive job. There is Steve Diossi. He's one of the jumpers.
Now listen, this is football. I mean, this goal line is what it's all about. Listen to this crowd. They're yelling defense. You got Diossi, you got guys sweating, you got everyone into it. This is football. This is a play. I don't know. That ball is so close to the end zone, I don't know why the quarterback just can't take it and fall in. Or the center, if Newberry would go up there and move the ball forward a little, he could get him a touchdown before that snap.
I bet he tries. It won't be legal, but he'll try.
I think I'd get a quarterback sneak. You got to be able, look at that. It's only a half an inch.
You got a 6'5" quarterback.
See if Newberry moves the ball when he goes up there. If he was a veteran center, he would. They let those centers move the ball, and sometimes they move it right to the goal line.
4:03 to go, 1st half. This has been thus far a 62-yard drive. This will be the 10th play of the drive. Jackie Slater still in the locker room, so Robert Jenkins, Malinicek, Newberry, Brostick, and Gerald Perry go against Ray Hanley's defense.
He looks calm about this. Of course, he's more of an offensive coach, coordinator. He doesn't look calm now. I think he lost it all last week in that Phoenix game, and he can't go through another one of those. He said that was the toughest loss he had in his life.
Might that have influenced his decision here to go for it?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think so. I think you have to take some chances. I think you have to take some chances on the road. And if you can't do this, you don't deserve to win if you can't get it in and in. Newberry didn't move it up. You got to move it up.
Del Pino. Touchdown. The call was made on the near side. DeOssie doesn't agree with it.
I'll tell you, it didn't look like from here that he got in either. Oh, this is tough. 4th down. Remember, this is a 4th down play. It's not a review situation. Oh, maybe they are going to review it. I hear the whistles now. The ball has to break the plane. There's the ball. He did. He got it underneath. Somehow he got the ball down. Now the thing was, were his knees down before the ball broke the plane?
No.
His knees were on top of the body. That's a touchdown.
It was ruled a touchdown on the field.
That's a good call.
That is a good call. How Del Pino got that ball through these legs and to that end zone, I have no idea. But the ball did break the plane.
Robert Del Pino sneaked it through.
That is an effort. But I'll tell you, it was a great defensive effort, too. See, now, the reason that his knees don't hit the ground, Vern, I think, is because they're on the other guy's body. You see, his knees never hit the ground. You see, they're not on the ground. They're on the body. So they never do. Now the hand comes through.
The hand's
the
legal.
left hand is legal. That's all right.
Sure.
And the ball breaks the plane, so that's a touchdown. And he blew out his jersey. Just blew the
After
jersey
further
right
review,
out.
the play stands. Touchdown.
Second week in September. You think it means something to John Robinson and the Rams?
It means a lifetime of coaching. How about Del Pino? He's already carried the ball 15 times for 80 yards.
Rams lead by 7. Robinson to go for it on 4th down, and the Rams get the touchdown 10-3 with 3:58 to go in the half.
You want to see the celebration? Watch Jim Everett here in his celebration. You don't see quarterbacks do this too much. He tries to pole vault to center, or vault him. He doesn't quite get over, but it was a good try.
Little leapfrog. Here's Meggett. Zendeja sends it into the end zone for a touchback. And the Giants will get it at their own 20-yard line following that touchback. Phoenix continues to lead Philadelphia. Well, you know, so often we are prone to criticize officials for what we perceive to be bad calls. How about the call by Jerry Bergman, the head linesman, who has been around a long time and made that touchdown call?
Yeah, that was one that he saw, because if you don't look for the ball, and that one, you lost Del Pino. It was hard to find the ball, and he did see the ball break the plane. Jerry
Bergman, whose brother, or son rather, is also an official in the league this year. Brother, father-son combination. Tillman, now to the 27.
Look at that. Now they got to take Del Pino, and they have to stitch that jersey up. They blew the hole, so they just take it and they take a shoestring and tie it back together. That's an old-time football. I mean, the old-time football guys there, they like that. They like those kind of shots.
Well, you get a 4th and goal. There's the umpire, Ed Kukart.
I'll tell you, the defense, the Giant defense, that was a heck of a goal line stand, too. I mean, that's as close as you can get.
Bill Hawkins is the injured player coming off for the Los Angeles Rams. By the way, Fred Strickland sprained his knee, the linebacker for the Rams, and will not return. So Roman Pfeiffer continues to play. Second-round draft choice, number 58. On second down, Tillman again. He gets to the 29-yard line, a gain of 2. There's Jerry Bergman, number 17, the head linesman.
Jerry Bergman, he's been around this league forever. I remember Jerry officiating many games when I was coaching the Oakland Raiders.
Did you always get along with him?
No, I didn't get along with any of them, but I didn't get along with Jerry or any of them. Now, as you were saying earlier, he has a son who's officiating in the NFL.
3rd and 1. 10-3 Rams. Otis Anderson hit behind the line and struggles forward. That should be enough to move the chains. He got across the 30, and now Bergman's in the middle of it, and there's going to be a flag. Glenn L. Sanders, number 55, is going to get the flag. He bumped the official. I think that's why the call.
You can't do that, and all you have to do is play. All you have to do is play and let those guys officiate.
Personal foul. Unsportsmanlike conduct. 55 defense. First down.
What you see him, he's down here. Now everything is okay, and then he starts to get a little too excited, and he put his hands right there on the official. And he knew the minute that he put his hands on Jerry Bergman that he couldn't do it. You see, he tried to pull him back, but it was too late.
That'll get you 15 every time. First down and 10. Hostetler into the flat for Anderson. He drives across the 50 to the 47, a gain of 8. We have reached the 2-minute warning at 1:54 remaining in the first half. Second down and 3. Giants have the ball at the Ram 43. Blitz coming. Anderson caught behind the line. First of all by Mike Peel and then by Roman Pfeiffer. It was Peel, 95, who made the initial contact.
Yeah, I think the fans are starting to boo now because someplace the Giants have to start throwing the ball a little more. I think they've run like 16 times. They've only passed 6 in this game, and somewhere they have to loosen this defense up because the Jeff Fisher defense is a Buddy Ryan defense, which is an old Eagle defense. And if you don't pass, they're going to put everyone, eventually they'll have 11 guys up in the line of scrimmage, and you won't be able to run.
On short yardage, 3rd and 2. Anderson coming left. Turned inside, but he struggles for the first down at the 43-yard line. That should be enough to move the chain with 1:02 to go.
And O.J. Anderson got that first down on his own because he comes around that corner, and watch him just before he gets hit. Watch his explosion as he explodes into the defenders right there.
Giants timeout. They trail by 7. Back split. And Hostetler will throw in the face of a blitz. Has Howard Cross, the tight end, for a first down at the 22.
That's what he had to do when they start ganging up on that first down run and they want to get all those guys up in the line of scrimmage and stop that run. You got to hit that thing. You got to throw on first down and hit them up in that seam.
Howard Cross, who replaces Mark Bavaro at that tight end spot for the Giants. 1 catch Monday night. That's his first today. 29 seconds before halftime. Hostetler on first down. Incomplete. Larry Kelm got a hand down in front of Dave Meggett, number 30.
I tell you, and just in time, they have a rookie, Robert Young, who was a rookie for the Rams, was rushing, and he hit Hostetler just as he threw it. Hostetler was saying last night that he knows how long he can hold it, but Young was right there, and he had to throw it because he's right on him. Watch Hostetler. He knows it's getting time to go. He better get rid of it, and watch Young hit him right then. The quarterback has to hold it just long enough to let his receivers work. If he holds it too long, he takes the sack. If he throws it too soon, they're not open yet.
Robert Young, a 5th-round draft choice from Mississippi State. 2nd and 10. Hostetler incomplete. Mix up on the pattern. Howard Cross holds his hands apart, saying, I thought I was where I was supposed to be. You think, I believe, John, that the Giants will miss Mark Bavaro more than...
I think immensely. I mean, that's going to be, they're going to miss his blocking because neither one of these guys, Cross or Mowat, blocked like Bavaro did. Neither one of them can get open like Bavaro did. And I think the Giants are going to have to find a new guy to rely on in, passing to take Bavaro's place. It doesn't have to be a tight end. It may be another back or a wide receiver.
Well, they threw 17 times to their wide receivers Monday night. That's almost double the norm of last year. Hostetler, deep left side, incomplete. Darrell Henley was covering Stephen Baker. It'll be 4th down.
That wasn't a very good-looking pass by Hostetler. In fact, it looked a little like a knuckleball. Looked like he didn't even throw a spiral on that one.
I heard it quack as it went by.
Yeah, that wasn't a good one. I think they have to throw more to their wide receivers, but on 3rd and 10, it's tough because that's when, again, the Rams, that's when everyone's playing pass.
Now Phil Simms is going to have a chat with, well, I thought he was, say something to Hostetler. Here's Matt Barr to make it 10-6. 2 for 2. This one from 40 yards out. Phil Simms has accepted his current status with unfailing good grace publicly. You and I, we saw something from him in Cleveland that really hit me. The Browns and the Giants were working out, and after practice it was raining. About a quarter-mile walk, and Simms made his way slowly down that group of people.
Well, the thing that impressed me about it is all the Giant team and everyone ran through, and there were people there that wanted autographs, and I can see why. I mean, they've been out there practicing, but one guy stopped. One guy stopped and signed autograph for all those people, all those Cleveland fans and kids and everyone, and it was Phil Simms, and I know that I was impressed by that. I mean, I stopped and turned around and looked because I was one of those guys that went through ignoring them too. But there was one man that stopped, and that was Phil Simms. And I've always thought, you look at the things he's accomplished here, and I never felt when he was playing that he was ever given his due, nor do I feel that he was ever appreciated for what he's done. But maybe as a backup quarterback, he'll be appreciated more. The most popular guy in any football team is a backup quarterback.
Well, he said his family doesn't mind the situation at all. Of all people to return the kickoff here is Mike McDonald, who is on this ball club primarily to center for punts and field goals. But you know what? That is the 10th kickoff return of his career. Now that's...
Well, because he's in a wedge, and anytime you get at the end of a half or end of a game and you don't want to return, the kicker just kicks it into the wedge. And McDonald has made a professional living of playing in a wedge on a kickoff return and snapping for punts. That's his career. You don't play offense. You don't play defense. You make a couple tackles on special teams. You snap on the punt, and you play wedge.
What are the chances of making the all-Madden team doing that?
Well, when I ever get a wedge team, if I ever get an all-wedge team, I'd probably put McDonald in it.
On a 4th and goal from the 1-foot yard line. 1-foot yard. The 1-foot line. Late in the second quarter, the Los Angeles Rams opted to go for it. They got the touchdown. That has been the only TD of the first half, and it counteracts 2 Matt Barr field goals for the New York Giants. That's the end of the first half with our score, Rams-Giants, and the wipe up behind kick by Matt Barr. David Lang took the kick.
We went from the blimp. It looked like old Ron Earhart was flying the blimp. He's just up here trying to call a play or two. Yeah, those guys there, you'd think it looked like they're looking out the blimp. Trying to look, see if the tennis has started over there.
Yeah, that does look like
What's happening down here? Yeah, I'd hate to be in a blimp.
A lot of blimps in the air today.
Yeah, there's too many blimps.
You ever been in a blimp?
No, I've never been in. I'd never go one. I've always wondered what they did when they weren't at a game.
23 kicking teams.
At the
will
rate
re-kick.
of speed they travel, they're going to the next site.
Yeah, but how could you fly with something with a face like that? Look at those guys. I mean, they go so slow. They got fire coming out the bottom there. Look at that. I mean, you know what I've never understood about a blimp either is they got that whole big thing up above, and then they fly in that little thing. I mean, if you're going to have all that stuff that you're going to carry, why not sit in there? Like you could have a living room. But then they all stuff down in there underneath, and that whole thing goes to waste.
You know, I bet we could get a race going between the Madden Cruiser and a blimp.
Oh, no, we'd beat them. Stay on the ground, all four on the ground at all times. We'll beat all blimps. All blimps and cars that only have 2 gears.
You got to stay under 65, though.
Oh, yeah.
Enough with the blimp. We'll kick it off again. Matt Barr from the 30. David Lang at the 32-yard line. So the 5-yard penalty cost the Rams 12 yards.
Boy, did Matt Barr get hit right here in the 40, and there's a fight, too. Someone went after Barr. He was pulling up, and someone came flying down the field and really hit Matt Barr. Matt Barr's going off the field sideways, trying to get his pads on again. The fight's down here. Matt Barr's going off, but boy, did he get hammered.
They're going to have to sew up his jersey.
Tell you, they're going to have to put his parts together. Watch him 9. He's just standing there. He's not hurting anyone. Look, they don't know how to take on blocks. I mean, that thing got hit. The first thing that hit was the back of his head.
That was Paul Butcher.
Yeah, but you don't go after the kicker. I mean, Matt Barr didn't hurt anyone. He wasn't going to make any tackles. He's one of the good guys.
First down, Del Pino. And they test the middle again. Del Pino, who had 81 yards rushing last Sunday against Phoenix, has surpassed that here against the Giants. He also caught 10 passes.
And if you look where the success, they've only run 4 times to the left, but they had 44 yards there, 11 times to the right, 36. But, of course, that touchdown was run to the right down on the goal line.
84 yards on 16 carries for Del Pino. 2nd and 6. Taylor goes right. Jackie Slater still in the locker room. Del Pino. Everson Walls did a pretty good job fighting off the block of Henry Ellard to slow things up and allow Pepper Johnson to make the tackle.
I think that these two teams are both conservative, and if you look at here, look in the first half, this is really unlike the Rams. They've only thrown 4 passes to their wide receivers, completed 2, only 1 to their running back and 2 to their tight end. And I think the team, one of these teams in this second half is going to open up a little offensively, not be so conservative, and that's the team that's going to win the game.
3rd and 3, Los Angeles. Everett across the middle, incomplete. Pressure coming from Leonard Marshall and Eric Howard.
Well, the other thing is I think there was good coverage because Everett was trying to get rid of the ball earlier. Look, he's trying to throw it now. He can't. There's no one open. He looks in the middle. He looks to the right. He waits. He waits. That let Marshall get there. Now, to me, that was great pass coverage because that gave Marshall time to do what he did.
That brings on Dale Hatcher. Sat out of football all of last year. Former Ram punter. And that's not going to be one he'll remember with fondness. Bounces all the way back to the 41 for a 19-yard punt. Marshall and Guyton and Mike Fox getting some encouragement from Pepper Johnson.
Well, I think he's probably saying, hey, we're going to have to do this ourselves. You know, keep it up, keep going, keep after Everett. I know we were talking to Leonard Marshall yesterday. He says one thing, he said, Everett doesn't like to get knocked down. He says, we have to knock him down. We said, we may not get sacked, but we got to knock him down even if he throws it. 1st and 10.
Otis Anderson gets by Farinars, fumbles, and it rolls right into the hands of Michael Stewart. It was Tillman instead of Anderson.
Jerry Gray was just standing there. You watch just one thing in the NFL that they're doing now to running backs is they're always taking a swipe, trying to knock that ball out of there. And you see him come as he comes out of that spin. The ball, boom, just gets knocked out of there. Jerry Gray was standing back there in coverage, and it just bounced right up into his arms.
Third turnover against the Giants. Gray instead of Stewart, 25 instead of 23. First down and 10 on the Giants' 45. Del Pino stuffed Mike Fox and Gary Reasons.
Tell you, this looks like two teams that are very good teams, but are both awfully tight. You know, in other words, sometimes you go and you play loose and you don't care. Sometimes you go and you play not to lose. Now, I have the feeling right now that both of these teams thus far are playing so tight to the best, they're both afraid to lose rather than going after a win.
Any theories as to why?
I don't know. I mean, I think the Giants won their first one. They want to get off to a 3-0 start, and I think the Rams are tight because of their loss to the Cardinals.
Everett looking deep. He'll run it and slides down short of the first down at the 37-yard line.
Because things really aren't flowing. You know what I mean? I mean, it seems like everything is kind of bumpy, and nothing is smooth in this game. And again, I'm talking about offenses more than defenses.
3rd and 2. You see Gerald Perry. He and Jenkins the tackles. Jackie Slater, a partial tear in his shoulder, will not return for the duration of the afternoon. Partial separation rather than tear. Del Pino first down at the 34-yard line.
Del Pino yesterday says he's going to be a workhorse today, and I'll tell you, this is what a workhorse does. You just get the short yardage, you get the goal line, you need to run. I think it's real hot down there, and I think that someplace you need a breather. I mean, this takes a lot of energy. Look, he takes off and he stays airborne for 5 yards, and he raises his hands and I just need a little oxygen, just a little.
93 yards thus far. Cleveland Gary, his first appearance in the ballgame. On the far side, the down marker says 4th down. It is first down. Everett goes deep. Man coverage up and incomplete. Mark Collins, Flipper Anderson.
Now watch the shot that Everett takes here. Again, he has to step up, and as he steps up, he knows that he's going to get that one. I think he just threw that away. Leonard Marshall has been all over Everett today. Seems like every time Everett is ready to throw, Leonard Marshall has been right in his face. And he was on that time. And there's no way you're going to throw a touchdown pass with number 70 hanging on your face mask.
Del Pino back in. 2nd and 10. 10-6, Rams lead. Del Pino shakes the first contact. That was made by Gary Reasons. Then after a tackle, the flag comes down. Holding L.A.
Gary Reasons made a good read on that one. Well, Handler's saying, put him back.
You like that shirt?
Now, you know what I wonder? They had a designer on the pregame show that designed that shirt. And I was thinking, how'd the guy know he was done? You know, how'd he say, you know, why didn't you put another line there?
86, the offense. Still 2.
You know, a designer had to say at some point, okay, that's it. Now it's perfect. Yo, Joe, just run them off, ship them out. You know, at what point did he say that's perfect?
How could they not make the lines come together?
I don't know. Someplace are making another line or stop a line before. Cottage cheese. How'd they know they were done?
2nd and 18. 10-6, Los Angeles. That last holding call on Damone Johnson, by the way, and Lawrence Taylor was the other fellow. Here's Del Pino, and he gets the 10 back. Mark Collins with the tackle.
I tell you, they've been all over Everett today. It seems like every time he throws the ball, they are knocking him down. That time it was Eric Howard. You see him just as he threw it, Eric Howard hit him in the back. I think their game plan is every time Everett passes, he should end up down on the ground. And I think probably, if we have a stat on it, he's been down on the ground just about every time.
3rd and 9 for Los Angeles. Cleveland, Gary is in the backfield. Gary can't hang on. Renee Thompson made the defensive hit. 4th down.
And that's probably why they're not passing as much, because they're having trouble pass protection. Their guys aren't getting open, or the defensive side. The defense is playing great pass rush and great coverage. And these fans know defense.
Zendejas will try it from 50. McDonald will center. Everett will hold. Maybe. Got it. John Robinson's team is up 13 to. He may not make it in the stadium.
Oh, they got little crackers, little cigars, guys throwing. Where's the big old bratwurst and stuff?
Ingram lets it go by. And that'll be a touchback to come out to the 20-yard line. Jim Everett, Del Pino.
Del Pino's had a great day. Everett's had a tough day. I think, like I was saying earlier, every time Everett goes back to throw the ball, he's been knocked down. Taylor's had a good day, putting a lot of pressure on him, but the guy who's been the biggest effect on Everett has been Leonard Marshall.
1st and 10 Giants. They trail by 7. Austin on the left side. Stephen Baker makes the grab at the 30-yard line.
I think Darrell Henley was the cover guy there. It looked like he hurt his knee on that play. He's going to go for it at the same time. He's out there on the top of the screen up there. Watch Henley. He's going to go for the ball, going for the interception. He gets a little of the ball. He gets a lot of Baker, and then he gets his knee. Watch Baker get his feet down here. He has to get him down 1, 2 right now. That's a heck of a play by Baker.
Just shy of a 1st down. Anderson to the 32-yard line. That will be a 1st down.
There's a guy who's paying for it with the sweat. Leonard Marshall is putting as much pressure today in this first half, or the first part of the game, than I've seen in a couple years. I mean, he again has been all over Everett today. And he feels pretty good. You know, once you get confidence like that, and you know that you can get there, then you're impossible to stop. If you're an offensive guy and you let a guy get that kind of start like Leonard Marshall, it's going to be a long day.
Megan is in the offensive backfield on 1st down. Hostetler looks for Otis Anderson. It's a heck of a block from Megan on Bernays. I promise you, Dave Megan leveled Brett Bernays. And that allowed Anderson to pick up the 12 yards.
Well, that's the type of thing that you don't expect. You know, you expect Megan to catch the ball, but he comes in motion. Watch him. He comes in motion. Now, he looks backwards so he won't go offside. Now, he's waiting for the ball. He's running a pass pattern. Now, when he sees this to O.J., he's going to get the block right there. Just like you said, that's the block that sprung O.J. Anderson.
1st and 10 at the 43. Ingram in motion. Anderson going left. Maurice Carthon to the block. Across midfield to the 48. 9-yard gain. Let's go back again to the play previous and watch Megan and Bernays.
Well, there's Bernays. He's coming. That's the linebacker. And if you're going to take a linebacker on, you either do it like Ingram did on Monday night when he got Haley, where you don't see him coming, or you take him low. You take him on, you hit him below his knees like Megan did that time.
2nd and 1, Giants. They trail 13-6. midway through the third quarter. Anderson. First down at the 40. Pat Carroll makes the tackle.
Watch number 72, Doug Riesenberg right there. Eric Moore, number 60. Riesenberg blocks down. Moore pulls. You see Moore gets that block there. Cross gets the block, and he just runs it right through that hole. O.J. looks like he has a little more determination this second half.
34 yards thus far. Lewis Tillman takes his spot. Hostetler pumps once, looks deep left side. Man is wide open, but the recovery by Henley knocks the pass away. Stephen Baker had him by a step at about the 5.
And I think Stephen Baker ran out of bounds, O'Byrne. Did you see the official throw his hat down?
Right.
When the official throws his hat down, that means that the receiver was out of bounds. So even though he catches that, if he comes in bounds, now he can't catch that. Watch him. See, the official's going to say right there. You see he's out of bounds. The official throws that. Now, if you're out of bounds, you can't come back in bounds and catch the ball anyway. So once he went out, he couldn't have caught a touchdown pass. That's
one of the few times Hostetler has gone to his wideouts. Ingram in motion again. Tillman. Kevin Green makes the tackle at the 36-yard line, a gain of 4.
You know, one of the things I think the Giants in this second half are feeling some urgency because after the game, they beat the 49ers on Monday night. Ray Handley and the rest of the players all said, if we win the first one and then lose to the Rams, then winning the first one against the 49ers means nothing. So to make the first one mean something, you have to win today.
3rd and 6. They trail by 7. 4 wide receivers. Hostetler with pressure. Incomplete. Intended for Meggett.
And Hostetler really took a shot.
Gerald Robinson, number 97, was in his face.
And I think Mike Peel, number 95, was there too. But watch this. They're getting a pretty good pass rush now. As he steps up, watch him right there. He had to step right into it. He got rung right around the neck. Looked like they were holding Meggett on that end. But that's the new Ram aggressive defense.
Landeta, who has had only 1 punt blocked in his entire career, sends this one into the end zone. It'll be a touchback and come back to the 20. 36-yard punt. Rams with 4 kisses. All tonight on CBS. Everett will hand it off to Cleveland Gary. And Gary still running out to the 34-yard line. That's a first down.
There has to be a guy who's a determined player. Their leading scorer of the Rams last year. He was benched today because he fumbled, and he's had a history of fumbling, and you can see why he fumbles. I mean, that ball is out there. That's one reason. I mean, he just has the ball. As he swings his arm, he swings the ball out there. The other reason is he wears rib pads. And when you wear rib pads, you can't feel the ball when it's up against your side. But still, you can't take that away from him. He made good on that run.
12 fumbles, lost 7 last year. 1 fumble, 1 loss this year. Everett into the middle for Damone Johnson, the tight end. And that's a big gain across the 50. 18 yards to the 47.
That's only the 5th pass that Jim Everett completed today. And this is making it possible. See, they handle the pass rush. See Perry there on Taylor, just throws him out. Let Everett step up. And that time, see, Marshall's out here, 70's out here. He wasn't in Everett's face. So if you don't get a guy in Everett's face, he's going to complete him. If you do, there's no way.
John Washington has replaced Eric Howard at nose tackle for the Giants. Modest numbers for Jim Everett, but his team leads it 13-6. Gary, a gain of 1. Defensive unit on the Ram bench.
Turlink is the new defensive line coach. You know that young there, that 76, I went to the Rams preseason training, and he was the most impressive new player they had. I mean, he is a big man. He's only a rookie, but I think that someday this guy's going to develop into being a good defensive lineman. He's like 6'6", 275, 280, and run a little.
5th round pick out of Mississippi State. 2nd and 9. Carried, and they ran right at Lawrence Taylor, and that time it didn't work.
You're not going to make a living running at Lawrence Taylor. I think sometimes you just, by running at him, you just make him anchor in and stay there and not move around. But if you think you're going to come in and win a game just by running at Lawrence Taylor, I'll guarantee you'll go home empty-handed.
.224 to go, 3rd quarter, 3rd and 7. Rams 0-1. Giants 1-0. Giants won their first 10 of the season last year. Everett back. Drills the ball incomplete for Henry Ellard at the 25-yard line. Myron Guyton was defending. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, I don't think Henry Ellard has caught a pass today. And, he's always the top receiver, the guy that always catches all the passes. And I guess he's caught one, but it sure didn't seem like Ellard or Flipper Anderson or Aaron Cox, the 3 wide receivers, have been in there much. I think the Giant defense and secondary is doing a heck of a job.
3rd punt for Dale Hatcher. Meggett is back. Nice and high. Fair catch called by Meggett. It bounces. Oh, what a dandy play. Down at the 1. Sammy Lilly kills it at the 1. There is a flag back at the 42, holding against the Giants. Now, was it post-possession?
Well, if it's against the Giants, you can't get any penalty much further. You'd have to put him in the end zone and give the Rams some points.
Holding. 57. Defense. 1st down.
Oh, I see. Wait, it was before. So now the Rams get the ball because it was before he punted the ball.
It was not post-possession. It was during the possession, right?
Oh, that is a killer. You stop a team, make 4th down, then you have holding. Now, if the holding occurs before the punt, then it's still an offensive play, and you get an automatic 1st down. Boy, that is a new life for the Rams.
Ram offense back on the field. Tom Newberry, number 66, the new Rams center. It's Corey Miller, the guilty party, 57.
And it has to happen right now. It has to happen before the ball is kicked, before the ball is caught. I see it. There's 57 right in the middle.
After the ball was kicked, the ball will belong to the Giants. Half the distance to the goal.
So it was a post-possession foul.
Yeah, right. You see, the ball was already kicked. You got to think. So now the Giants, now they're going back.
Yeah.
It looked like a pretty good block, though. It looked like he knocked the guy in his back.
I wonder if the replay booth came into that.
I don't know. It's funny because they had to say that unless the guy thought about it and just changed his mind on the field.
So the Giants have it.
We're going to watch that play again and see what happens. We'll see where the ball is. We see the ball is kicked right now. So the ball is gone from here. Here is the hold right here. So now the penalty is going to be at the other end.
99 yards officially away from the goal line. Maurice Carthon. And of course the reason it's at the 1-foot line is the play of Sammy Lilly.
That was an excellent play. Sammy Lilly was one of those guys that covers from the outside. Remember we saw him earlier get knocked out. Look, he's in the end zone. Turner's hitting him. Now he comes back out of the end zone. Now if he touches that line, the ball comes out on the 20. He keeps both feet inside the line and catches the ball.
2nd and 9. 1:24 to go, 3rd quarter. Carthen out to the 5-yard line. Little breathing space for the Giants. That's a gain of 3.
You know, that is a big play. I mean, it doesn't seem like much, but from the goal line to the 5, because now if you have to punt, your punter has his full 15 yards. If you have to punt from inside the 5, then your punter has less than the normal 15.
Rams defense today, only 6 points allowed, 3 turnovers, and 161 total yards thus far. 3rd and 5. Anderson. Crowd's not too happy with that call.
I think the fans here would wish that their offense would be half as aggressive as their defense.
That one punt was against New Orleans in 1987. Landetta, one of the outstanding punters, will call upon all of his talents now. Darrell Henley waits for it at the 45 of New York.
I remember once at this position, this guy in Chicago, I remember what he did.
Air ball.
Yeah, whipped it.
Henley bobbles it. Ram fans on the West Coast are groaning. What do we have to do to get somebody to hold on to the ball? That's the end of the 3rd quarter with our score. Los Angeles 13. The
people that are playing tennis or playing football and breathing that stuff that we just saw. You could hardly see through it. Holy moly, and people are down there breathing that.
1st and 10. Everett into the flat, caught by McGee. 1st down at the 40-yard line. Collins with the tackle. Gain of 13.
You know what I can't believe, and there has to be a reason for it. Leonard Marshall's not in there. I mean, Leonard Marshall has been the most effective defender today for the Giants. I mean, he's been the guy that has been knocking Everett down every play, and unless he's hurt or something, I don't know why he's not in there, because this is where they have to win the game. And I don't think you give players like Leonard Marshall a breather at this point of the game. I think he should be in there because you need him now.
1st down and 10. Cleveland. Gary bounces to the outside and cuts down at the 33-yard line. A gain of 7. Well, the defenders on that front line now are Washington, Mike Fox, and Eric Howard.
Yeah, but I think when you're down 13-6, if the Rams get one here, and I'll tell you, the way the Giants are playing offense, it can all be over. I think you have to defend here aggressively and hope that somewhere you're going to get some offense going. But I don't think you can be rested, guys.
Robert Del Pino checks back in for Cleveland. Gary. 2nd down and 3 from the 33-yard line. Del Pino. 1st down, Rams at the 24. Greg Jackson with the tackle.
You know, that's exactly what John Robinson was talking about last night. Go straight ahead and then skid. Watch Del Pino. He said we want to run the ball right at him, then you skid to the outside, you skid, then you turn it up again. You see, and that's exactly what they practiced all week. He said you can't run outside, but you can run inside and skid. Hit and skid. It's a good word.
Like it?
Yeah, he looks like he has some allergy problems. He's breathing that stuff, which just shows.
Everett, 5-step drop into the flat with Gary. Gary tackled by Collins, but he gets it to the 16-yard line. So they're rotating Gary and Del Pino, and Del Pino comes back in now.
And the Giants are finally putting in Leonard Marshall. I mean, I have no idea why he wasn't in there. That will never make sense to me.
We were told they were giving him a breather.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't believe that you give guys breather when you're 13-6, you're down 13-6. I believe, especially the guy's been playing the way he's been playing today.
Ellard goes left. Anderson comes right. McGee and Del Pino split behind Jim Everett on 2nd down. Oh boy, Gary Reasons and Carl Banks collaborate for that play. A loss of 2.
Well, they both got penetration there. Again, watch him up on the left side. Reasons is the inside linebacker. Banks is the outside. Banks just smashes down and gets the penetration, and Reasons does what they say, scrape off. But boy, after he scraped off, did he make contact?
He scraped off the skid.
I know, he skid, that's right. There's no skid there if you got a scrape off. Now this is where the Rams need a completion. The Giants need a rush by either Taylor or Marshall.
They need the 15. Del Pino is going to be short. And that will mean the arrival of Tony Zendejas.
It'll be interesting here. I think they're going to watch and see how short they have, because they may go for it again on fourth. They'll watch Lawrence Taylor come around from behind and make that tackle. He knocked Del Pino a little forward. Good defense. But see, now the Rams are ahead 13-7. If they stayed this way, a touchdown could tie them. By getting a field goal here, now that puts the Giants where they need 2 scores to beat them.
Mike Pagel will hold. 32 yards out. Tony Zendejas is perfect for the day. Here's the kickoff, and Zendejas sends it 2 yards in. Meggett will return it. Spilled as he gets to the 20-yard line. Return of 22, and now down by 6. Jeff Hostetler and the Giant offense come on the bench. Carl Banks getting taped.
Well, that's a groin muscle pull. Usually it's you know, when they tape it like that right outside the pants, they have to get some support there. He probably has a slight groin pull.
Last Monday night in this facility, Mark Ingram caught 6 passes. Stephen Baker caught 3. They have not been factors today, and Meggett is in the lineup. He comes wide to the left, bottom of your screen. First down. Hostetler settles in the flat. Otis Anderson.
I think O.J. looked at that one and decided he didn't want to catch it because the linebacker was right there. If he catches that one in that position, it's going to be a 5-yard loss. Now you can say, well, he dodged a bullet or whatever, but that could have been a pretty smart play. That was a loser, and he decided instead of catching a loser, I'll let it go.
Kevin Green in the line.
This is his best pass rush move, what he calls a spinner. Now he hits and then he spins. Of course, the Giants didn't go for the spinner.
2nd and 10. Hostetler. One reason he's got the job. Gain of 20.
That was an interesting thing. You know, you always see a quarterback run with the ball. That time he pointed to Howard Cross to get a block, and Cross got the block for him. Watch it. You see? Now you say, why is he running? There's nothing there. Look at this big hole. That's why he runs. Now watch here. He's going to point to Cross. See him? And boom, Cross gets the block right there. You always see guys point, but you never see him get the block. That time he got the point and the block. And that may be the best offense the Giants have had today, is Hostetler running.
Gain of 20 on the play. First down and 10. 9:52 to go in the ball game. Rams have won the last 2 times they played here. Hostetler right flat for Baker. Dances around Fairnay. Dances around another man. A flag accompanies the tackle at the 45.
That's an interesting thing. When we talked to the Rams, they said the 2 guys they have to stop is Hostetler running and Meggett. And on those 2 plays, the Giants finally got something going, although I think the penalty is against them. But Hostetler ran, and then Meggett hit him with a pass reception.
Illegal block. 84 offense. Face mask. 37 defense. They're offset. First down.
Mowat for the Giants. Pat Terrell for the Rams. Mike Pope, the receivers coach or tight ends coach for the Giants. Don't forget Stephon Edberg and Jim Courier coming up after the conclusion of our ball game. First down and 10. Hostetler left side overthrows Ingram. Now for an update on things going on elsewhere in the NFL, let's go back across the Hudson to Greg Gumbel.
Vern and John, you're going to like this one at Atlanta. Watch Wade Wilson from 39 yards out. Look for and find Chris Carter. Catch the grab by Carter. Nobody touches him. He rolls into the end zone. The extra point was blocked. The Vikings lead the Falcons 20-10, fourth quarter, Vern.
Chris Carter has found new life with that ball club.
One thing Chris Carter has always been able to do, even when he was with the Eagles, is catch touchdown passes.
Second down and 10, 9:17 remaining. Hostetler into the flat again. O.J. and Fairnays. And the crowd reaction.
Well, he got to start getting the ball downfield. I mean, they're throwing those little loopers out there to O.J. and stuff, and eventually you have to get the ball. I mean, make it downfield. You know, get the ball to Ingram, get the ball to Stephen Baker, or at least try to. And this, you know, we were talking earlier, I think this is an area where they missed Mark Navarro. They just don't have enough go-to guys.
With 8 minutes and 55 seconds remaining, it's 3rd and 9. Hostetler, 8 of 17 for only 75 yards. 4 wide receivers. Hostetler across the middle. That's caught, but short of the first down. Ed McCaffrey, the rookie receiver from Stanford, and now the crowd will really get on this Giant offense.
And Ray Hanley has his first decision here. I think he's going to go for it because there's 8 minutes, 27 seconds, but you need 2 scores. So I don't think you can punt from this situation. Bill Parcells made a living at doing this, going for it on 4th down. This may be his first. I'll tell you, that'll put a little age on you. You get many of those 4th downs, that'll put you a little something.
See if they go with an unbalanced line now. No, Roberts is to the left side. Bob Cratch is in. 4th and 1. Anderson got it. Move the chain.
They ran in there behind Roberts. What they do, they take William Roberts, make him the tight end, then they put in Bob Cratch, and he plays left guard. Now, if they get the first down, then Roberts has to go out.
Injured player for the Giants.
He is sponsored by Budweiser.
Robert Del Pino has led the way for the Rams thus far, 105 yards on the ground. Both teams have kept it on the ground. Inexplicably, the Rams with 1 turnover to the Giants with 3. Doug Riesenberg, the injured player, walks off without assistance. And now on 1st down and 10 from the 48. Roberts still in the game, moves over to his left guard spot.
And he can't do that.
Hostetler, tipped by Fairnays. Incomplete. And there is no flag on William Roberts, so he got away with it.
It's an interesting thing. What they had to do was Roberts, he goes and plays tight end, so he's eligible on the 3rd down play. Now, if they get the first down, he has to go out for a play. You see Cratch is going out now. Roberts stayed in for that play, so he was eligible and then went to an ineligible position. So he either has to go out for a play or that should be a charged timeout against the Giants. I think they got away with one there.
2nd and 10, 7:25 to go in the game. Hostetler pumps once. Caught and dropped Mike Peel. Mike Peel from the University of Illinois, number 95.
Hey, this has not been one of Hostetler's better days, and this Ram defense with Jeff Fisher has really been a swarming defense, not only against the run, but also on the pass rush. They just have guys coming from all over, and they just have guys flying at the quarterback. I think that time, the first guy he hit was his own guy, Eric Moore. Let's see if he has anyone open. You see, he could have thrown out there. He has Baker wide open out here. Looks like he didn't see him.
3rd and 17 out of the shotgun. Left side, McCaffrey. but way short of the first down. It'll be 4th down.
Now it's interesting again for Ray Handley. Does he go for it again? 6 minutes, 47 seconds. This field position, he's too far to kick a field goal. He needs 2 scores. But you're 4th and 9. I would think in this situation, because I have all 3 of my timeouts, I would probably punt in this situation. Hope to get him backed up, play good defense, get it back twice and score.
He's going to go for it.
Now this is a tough one. 4th and 9 is tough, and this is not the strength of Giants football.
The play is being reviewed by replay. It was ruled a completed catch on the field.
Now here's where this becomes important, John. If they were not charged a timeout for the substitution problem with Roberts, they've got all 3 left.
Yeah, they do have all 3 left. He had both feet in. I mean, the Ram players got him, but you could see the right foot, then the left foot down. Watch him here. You see one down, the other down. He got both feet down. That was a legal catch, but it still makes a 4th and 9 decision here for Ray Handley. Like I said, I'm not second guessing.
After further review, the play stands. Completed catch, 4th down.
Ron Earhart on the left, Brett Bruni, the Giant coaching staff. 4th and 9. With 6:25 remaining in the ball game. 2 men down. Hostetler dances right, chased by Wilson. Incomplete for McCaffrey. No flag. Rodney Thomas, number 21. And Jerry Bergman and Carl Banks having words with each other. Rams take over, and they lead by 10. New York Giants, the defending world champions, by 10 with 6:13 to go. Del Pino.
They knew that play, and they're going to keep running. Here's the 4th down play of the Giants. One, you can see that they were saying that was pass interference. You can see it was a 4th down play. It was well short of a 1st down. Although, had they called a penalty on that, that would have been an automatic 1st down. But I just think the Rams are just playing great aggressive defense today.
Well, Jeff Fisher is the man. There's Rodney Thomas, who was the defender on that pass to McCaffrey. 2nd down and 4. Cleveland Gary back in the lineup for Robert Del Pino. Hand off to Gary, and he comes right. Greg Jackson nudges him out of bounds at the 45-yard line, a gain of 2.
I think I'd rather have Del Pino running straight ahead and skidding than have Gary running out of bounds when I have a 16-6 lead with 5 minutes and 22 seconds. You don't want to stop the clock.
And he did. 5. To go. Third and 2. Play fake. Banks is right there. Full groin muscle and all.
I'll tell you, he really gets penetration on this one. They don't block Carl Banks. You see both backs go away. It was going to be a bootleg. He was going to fake to the back. He didn't expect Banks to blitz. So now he fakes to the back. He's going to bootleg, and the first thing he looks up, and there's number 58, Carl Banks.
And there's number 30. Waiting for Dale Hatcher's punt. Nice and high again. And Sammy Lilly again. So often you overlook the special teams play. That is the second time Lilly is down to punt inside the 5.
Ready to go, Sammy!
97 yards away and down by 10. Jeff Hostetler has kept it conservative. 8 of 12 under 10 yards. No passes completed for more than 20. He'll throw from the shotgun, bobbles it, hands it off to Meggett. He gets to the 5. Anthony Newman, whose job today defensively, number 26, is to follow Dave Meggett, did it again.
I tell you, and he's done a good job on that. You know, I said a week ago that sometimes players, when they hold out, will do better the first week they come in than they will the second week.
That pass to Mark Ingram is his first of the afternoon. First down at the 32. 27 yards.
And that's what they had to do. I mean, they had to start getting the ball up the field, and they had to start getting the ball to make it. I mean, get the ball in the hands of guys that can make big plays.
May have started too late. Almost picked off by Michael Stewart.
Hey, I think that was Mike Peel again. If you watch number 95, he comes around on a stunt. You see him come around on a stunt, and he puts his helmet right in Jeff Hostetler's chest. Mike Peel has had a couple of big rushes today on Hostetler, not known as a pass rusher. Kevin Green is usually the big pass rusher on this team, but Peel has given him 3 or 4 big rushes today.
Second down and 10. Hostetler, Meggett, flag is down. They'll bring this one back. We're going to get holding.
Mike Peel. Mike. Mike, take this.
Don't forget the men's final coming up. Stefan Edberg against Jim Courier in his baseball hat. That was a gain of 4, but the play will not
Illegal
stand.
hands on the face. 76 offense. Still second down.
76, of course, is the left tackle right here, John Elliott. They're saying that he's getting his hands to the face mask. Now, what they try and do is get those hands up and stab him. You see, they try and get the hands up and stab him, and he got that left hand right up in the face mask. See, they try and get it under the shoulder pads, and sometimes it'll just slip right up off the shoulder pads into the face mask.
Second and 20, across the middle, incomplete. Newman covering Meggett again. All right, Stephen Baker this time. And it'll be third down.
Yeah, this is not the Ram defense today was able to stop the Giants' first and second down plays and put them in third and long. That and penalties put them in third and long. And second and third and long or a fourth and long is not Giant football.
Ram defense with new coordinator Jeff Fisher. Third and 20. Incomplete for Meggett. Fourth down.
Hostetler's starting to aim the ball now. You can't do that. You have to have a freeness, and I never felt all day that the Giant offense had a looseness and a freedom. I mean, it's awfully tight and tightly wound and never opening up or freewheeling.
In 1991, LT and the gang did not lose their first game until week 11. They're on the verge of going 1-1 for the season. Jeff Hostetler is undefeated as a starting quarterback. That may not last. On fourth down, the pass wildly right, incomplete, and the Rams take over.
I'll tell you, this is really, you know, the Giants were so high after that Monday night game that you would think that they might not lose a game, because I think everyone felt that maybe the 2 best teams in the NFL starting off the season were the 49ers and the Giants. And as Ray Handley says if you win on Monday night and don't win the next Sunday, then the win on Monday night didn't do you any good. What a job John Robinson has done of taking a team that was down as low as they were last week and bringing them back to this kind of effort today.
On first down, Del Pino. He's down inside the 20. The consolation coming from the former starter, Phil Simms.
Hostetler never had a chance today, Vern. It was like he never got warmed up or never got into it. You know, like you have to get your first things going to build off them, and he never got his first things going.
It was one of the interesting things that came up in our conversation with Ray Hanley was one of the reasons for his decision in choosing Hostetler over Simms. He thought that Hostetler gave him his best chance of defeating the 49ers, the Rams, and the Bears in the first 3 games.
Yeah, because he had defeated the 49ers in the championship game. He knew that the Rams were going to use that Eagle defense, and he thought that he needed someone who could move around, and Hostetler also beat the Bears. So that was a big part of the reason that he became the starter.
On the other side of the field, the Los Angeles Rams with 7 turnovers last Sunday. Now, I've never heard a coach before a game say, I don't think we'll win. But John Robinson was very frank and convincing yesterday when he said, if we don't lose the ball, we'll win the game.
You know, and the other guy that was so excited about today's game and was Robert Del Pino, and then he came in and had a game like he had today. I mean, Del Pino carried the ball like 25 times for 114 yards. Now you can see it's 26 for 115, but if there's any guy who gets a game ball and maybe 2 extra meals on the airplane ride home, it should be this guy, Robert Del Pino, because he has been outstanding.
Why would you think it a reward for a player to get 2 extra meals?
I don't know. They just should. I mean, you know, that's the old college thing. If a guy didn't play well, you'd break his plate, and if he played well, you'd give him a couple extra plates.
3rd down. This Chicago next week. The Rams, 2 more road games before they get home. At New Orleans, at the 49ers. But this is a mighty big win for them. On 3rd down, Everett will keep it. Come up short, tackled by Mark Collins at the 16-yard line.
Everett is so slow, I think they just told him to keep it to run out the clock. That's what they'll kid him about. That's probably what they're saying right now. They're trying to run out the clock so they run you.
Remember what his road roommate Tom Newberry said yesterday. He runs like an ailing giraffe.
There's Tom Newberry. He looks like a fire plug.
Well, in retort, Everett referred to him as being built like a curb handball player. C-U-R-B as in boy.
Yeah, well, you could play handball on him.
And Leonard Marshall, whose excellent effort will go unrewarded today.
Yeah, so wait, I mean, he also said you watch some football. You watch some football, you watch some wrestling, then go play tennis. You don't do other than it.
Bagel will hold. Zendejas. Perfect for the day.
Well, you can see what the Giants are thinking right now, that their victory against the 49ers and that high that they had Monday night and Tuesday all becomes a low with this one. You know, as they say in this game, and it's so true. Sean Landetta was saying yesterday that you can only celebrate it for an hour or a day because it's only that good. Then you have to get on to the next one. That's why he was so excited about this year from training camp. He really was. He said, we're a good team this year, and I think that's why the loss against the Cardinals last week was the toughest loss he said he ever had in his life.
Zendejas will kick it off. Still 3:05 remaining. Flag is down. Mark Ingram gets away from Sammy Lilly and is out to the 32-yard line.
There's a flag down there where the ball was kicked from. So I'd say the Rams were probably offside. Now I know that the Giants again will turn down this because they want to get the offense. I mean, if they need points.
27 kicking team. It's declined. 1st down.
Bobby Abrams, number 51 for the Giants.
The Giants have to do it quickly here. They go to a shotgun. They're down 19-6. They need 2 touchdowns. So you got to think about one. You got to get one. 256. You got to get that 1 touchdown, then work in the other one.
Hostetler across the middle. Ingram at his 2nd catch. And 3 Rams around the football and Ingram just short of the first down at the 41.
Yeah, the Giants have time. I mean, they have time to get a score and get the ball back because it's 2:30 and they have all their timeouts left.
Make it at the 41 of the Rams. Gain of 19.
And again, now the thinking of Ray Handley and his staff has to be, you know, we're not going for field goals here. We're not going for field goal position. We need touchdowns because we need 2 of them. And again, it's 2:29. The Giants don't have any timeouts left, but they're going to get 1 at the 2-minute warning.
Ed McCaffrey, rookie from Stanford, to the 32. 9 the gain, 1 the need, and they'll go from the shotgun. That pass caught by Augusta Turner.
I know what everyone's thinking now, Bert.
Exactly.
Everyone's saying, if you can do it like this and it's so easy at the end of the game, why don't you do it like that the whole game? And then the Rams are saying, why do you play so aggressive the whole game, and then at the end of the game you play that prevent defense? I know what both sides are saying. The Rams are saying, why are they doing this? Jeff Fisher, you've been playing aggressive all day. Why are you loosening it up? And they're saying, hey, if it's this easy, why didn't you do this all day? Get in the shotgun and throw it. Well, I know that one.
Hostetler pulls up and fires it. Odessa Turner. Down at the 1. They'll stop the clock for the 2-minute warning. A gain of 23, 1st and goal, New York. They need 2 touchdowns to 6, but the Giants are out of timeouts and they need 2 touchdowns. 1st and goal, New York, just outside the 1-yard line.
And of course, they better get the score on 1st down because the score will stop the clock. Then they get a change of possession, and then they have to make a decision. Do they go for the onside kick, which with no timeouts they're going to have to do. But you got to think ahead, you know, and think 3 or 4 things. But you better not try and run. I mean, you better have a play pass or a pass down here and get it in on 1st down.
Moat and Cross come wide to the left. That's Meggett going out of the backfield. And it will be a run pass option. Hostetler pulls up, drills it, caught, touchdown. Dave Meggett. Not over yet.
That's what they had to do, and now if they had their timeouts, they wouldn't have to go on an onside kick, but I think they're going to have to. And they had to do this. I think this was a good call. They had a pass. They roll out option. He can run it in or find a pass. He finds a mismatch there in the end zone and throws it to Meggett. But they had to get the touchdown on 1st down.
Kick it through.
Watch Hostetler here, Vern. He's looking for Meggett all the way. He's either going to throw it to David Meggett or he's going to run it. Look, he's looking around his blockers here. He can't see there, can't find anything, looks out to the right, and then finds it and zips it in there. Now again, the Giants had no timeout.
See what the odds are of recovering onside kicks a year ago. 19-13 now. That only took 5 seconds off the clock. I wonder if Ray Handley is thinking back now to his decision to go for the 1st down on 4th and 9 with 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, probably. I mean, if he's not thinking about it now, he will think about that later. That's a tough one. But here, again, with 1:52, if the Giants had any timeouts left, they wouldn't have to kick an onside kick. With 1:52 and needing a touchdown, they have to kick an onside kick.
Well, the sure hands people are up close.
And, you know, I'll bet you Matt Barr, 14-year veteran, has probably tried more onside kicks than anyone, so he knows how to do it.
Out of bounds, untouched. Yep.
See, that's the thing that you can do on an onside kick on artificial turf. See, you hit it low, and then you hope to get a good bounce and then get a jump ball for your guy. That went over the head. So now he gets to kick it off again. Now remember the rule, the Rams couldn't do anything about that. So it's a 5-yard penalty. If he kicks it out of bounds again, then the Rams get the ball there. So he just can't keep kicking out of bounds all day.
Right. Edberg and Courier follow us from the National Tennis Center. Now Matt Barr will try it again. Cleveland Gary is the wide man on the near side. Mosey Tatupu next to him. And it's taken by Jim Price, the backup tight end.
I'll tell you one thing that didn't have anything to do in this game, Vern, is time of possession. Both teams had the ball the same amount of time, 28 minutes, 51 seconds. So that's not one of the stats that won or lost this game.
Cardinals trying to go 2-0, and Chicago hangs on to a 1-point edge over Tampa. Minnesota also trying to even their record, and the Saints try to go up 2-0.
That Buffalo can score a lot of points.
Oh. Del Pino. Now it's just a matter of holding on to the ball for the final 1:44. Steve Diassi, Jeff Hostetler, perhaps on the verge of losing his first game as a starting quarterback. And the Giants cannot stop the clock. Today's game was produced by Robert D. Stenner and directed by Sandy Grossman. The NFL Today was produced by Eric Mann and directed by Duke Struck. The senior producer of the NFL on CBS is Ed Gorin, and the executive producer is Ted Shaker. 2nd and 10. Los Angeles at New Orleans next week, and then at San Francisco before they return home. The Giants are also on the road. They go to Chicago next week. How significant a victory for John Robinson